Good morning, friends. My dear friends, good evening. Okay, thank you, Krishna sir. Okay, Kalyani, Wasim, Tanvi, Bhavika. Am I audible? My dear friends, am I audible? Kalyani, am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
Good, good. Right. If anyone unable to hear my voice, please do one thing. Rejoin the class. That's it. You simply leave from the class and rejoin. It's enough. Right. First of all, good evening once again. Let me introduce. My name is M.C.P. Saheb. Right? I have experience of 22 plus years of experience I have. I completed my M.Tech and I am pursuing PhD in the stream of CSC. Right? I can teach the subjects like C language, C++, Java language, Python language, advanced Java, advanced Python, data structures, and web technologies. I can teach very well all these subjects. Right. Today I am going to explain you the history of C. Before going to that, I will explain you the syllabus within a minute. Syllabus. I will teach you the fundamentals. Fundamentals of C. Next one. Input and output functions available in C. Operators available in C. Control statements like if statement, else, switch statement, while, for, do while, break, continue, go to, like that. Now I will explain the concept of arrays. It contains 1D array, 2D arrays, strings, then I will explain structures, unions, enumerators, type def means user defined data types. Then I will explain functions, then pointers, files, and command line arguments. These are the topics I am going to explain you. Today I will explain what is the history of C language. What is the history of C language? My dear friends, wait a minute. I will setting the system settings. Right. My dear friends, do you know so many programming languages are there in the world? C, C++. I already explained you so many languages. C, C++, Java, Python, Advanced Java, Advanced Python. These programming languages are mainly classified into three types. One is low level language. Second one is high level language. Third one is middle level language. Actually, C is a middle level language and it is also called as high level language. I will explain the history, then you can very clear about that. There are so many high level languages. One of the popular high level programming language is BCPL. BCPL. The meaning of this one is basic combined programming language. It is the BCPL stands for basic combined programming language. It was developed by Martin Richard. It was developed by Martin Richard. Martin Richard. At this time, at the development of BCPL, there is one operating system. That operating system is called as DOS, disk operating system, DOS. Actually, DOS is a single user operating system, means this operating system can support only one user at a time. Only one user at a time. Multiple users cannot use this operating system. Single user operating system is a less sufficient to use multiple users. So then they need to develop a multi-user operating system. Multi-user operating system. To develop this multi-user operating system, they used to write code by using BCPL. After some time, they came to know this language is not enough to build a multi-user operating system. Then they want to develop a new programming language, and successfully they developed and named it as B. So from BCPL, they developed B language. So we have to write like this: BCPL led to B. It was developed by the developer of B is, it was developed by Ken Thompson. Ken Thompson. What is the motto to develop B language? Their aim is to build a multi-user operating system. By using B, they developed one multi-user operating system. The name of that is called Multics. Now you are using Unix operating system, Linux operating system. It is the first multi-user operating system, Multics. Okay. They successfully developed BCPL. After that, they developed B also. Actually, BCPL and B, these two are typeless programming languages. BCPL and B are typeless. What is the meaning of typeless? Typeless programming languages means these two doesn't support data types. BCPL and B, these two doesn't support data types. So it is called as a typeless. What is the meaning of data types? Suppose whenever you go to a sweet shop, there are so many sweets. Whenever you go to a hotel, there are so many types of tiffins like idli, vada, dosa, puri, like that. Those are the types of tippings. In the same manner, in data also there are some types. Those are called data types. These BCPL and B doesn't support data types. So it is called as typeless programming languages. Then there is a person called Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie. He developed a new programming language which support data types and named it as C. What is the next language? After B, he named it as C. So B led to C. From B language, C language was developed, led to C. Who is the developer of this one? It was developed by Dennis Ritchie in the year of 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratory. It is a laboratory name, Bell Laboratory. On a computer which is having Unix operating system, on Unix machine. Actually, C support data type. So C is a typed programming language. C is a typed programming language. It is the history of C language. There is one of the popular programming language, popular high-level programming language, that is BCPL. BCPL means Basic Combined Programming Language. It was developed by Martin Richard. Martin Richard. From BCPL, a new programming language was developed and it was named as B. It was developed by Ken Thompson. Ken Thompson is the developer, Ken Thompson. Now BCPL and B, these two languages are called typeless programming languages, means it doesn't support data types. Means, what is the meaning of this? Means those two does not support data types. From B, a new programming language was developed that is called C. It was developed by Dennis Ritchie in the year of 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratory on a computer which is having Unix operating system on Unix machine. C is a typed programming language. What is the meaning of that? Means it supports data types. A language which supports a data type is called as typed programming language. A language which doesn't support data types is called as typeless programming language. Right. Now it is about the history of C language. Right. My dear friends, you better to note on this. First 5 classes are the demo classes. From 6th class onwards, okay, I will create a WhatsApp group to you and I will send this material to you every day. Until that, you better to note on this, right? These notes, okay? Please, my dear friends, all of you note on this history of C language.
Sir, could you please explain the above points? Actually, I just joined meet class.
Okay, sure. Right. There are so many high-level programming languages are there. One of the important high-level programming language is BCPL. It stands for Basic Combined Programming Language. This language was developed by Martin Richard. He is the developer of the BCPL. From BCPL, a new programming language was developed that is called B. And it was developed by Ken Thompson. Actually, I explained BCPL and B. These two are called typeless programming languages. The meaning of typeless means it doesn't support data types, does not support data types. That is called typeless programming languages. From language B, a new programming language was developed that is called C. C was developed by Dennis Ritchie. He is the developer. C was developed in the year of 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratory on Unix computer, on Unix machine. Actually, C is a typed programming language, means it supports data types. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And what about the above points? I think I can see some points in the
No,
above
it is the
also.
syllabus. It is the syllabus. That's the syllabus. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You,
Thank you.
you need to write from here only.
Okay. Thank you.
My dear friends, after completion of writing, please tell me. I will go to the next topic. Okay, done. Very good. Now, can I go to next one? Can I go to the next topic?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good. Now, the next question is, what is C? What is the meaning of C? What is C? Actually, C is called high-level programming language. But C supports the features of low level also. So C is a middle level programming language. C is called as high level as well as middle level programming language. C is a high level programming language. What is the meaning of high level? High level means good. High level means we can write the programs by using simple English words. Simple English words like print, scan, like that. So the language which can be built by using simple English words, those are called as high level languages. C is a middle level language. Middle level language. Why? Because C language supports low level language features as well as high level language features. So it is called middle level language. C is a POP. POP means procedure oriented programming language. C is a POP language, means procedure oriented programming language. The meaning of this one is it gives more priority to procedure. It gives less priority to data. So it means, what is the meaning of this one? Procedure oriented means, it means it gives more priority to procedure. It gives more priority to procedure, but less priority to data. It is called the meaning of that. Right. C is a typed programming language. What is the meaning of this one? It supports data types. C is a case sensitive programming language. What is the meaning of case sensitive means? Suppose it is small a. Capital A and small a, both are different. Voice is same. It is A, it is also A. But it is capital A, it is small a. If the computer consider capital A and small a as different, then it is called case sensitive. If the computer doesn't recognize capital A and small a both are different, computer is feeling both are same, then it is case insensitive. So C is a case sensitive programming language. In C language, the program will be executed from top to bottom. So it follow the top to bottom approach. C follow the top to bottom execution approach. C is a structured programming language. Structured programming language. C program has a specific structure. You cannot write, you have to remember the procedure also. How to write the program, first what to write, then what to write, then what to write, then what to write. Top to bottom, you have to follow the sequence also. So it is called as procedure, structured oriented programming language. So this is about the C language. Now how to write a sample C program. Sample C program. Right. Now note on this. What is C? Note on these points. Note on these points.
Sir?
Amma.
Sir, can you explain the last second point?
Top-down approach.
Yes, sir, yes.
Right. Whenever you write the program will be executed from top to bottom. First line will be executed first, then second line, then third line, then fourth line, then fifth line. So it follows the top to bottom approach. Whereas Java executed from bottom to up. Whereas C++ also executed from bottom to up. All object-oriented programming languages executed from bottom to up. All procedure-oriented programming languages executed from top to bottom. Clear?
Yes, sir, yes.
My dear friends, you please all of you listen. Don't hesitate to ask your doubts. I am giving clear instruction that you should not leave the class with doubts. I am here to clear all your doubts. Okay. Don't hesitate to ask me. Please ask any type of doubt. I will clear your doubts. We should not close the class with doubts. If you complete the writing, then I can go to the next topic.
So what is middle level language? Second
Middle
point.
level language means there are two types of languages actually, high level and low level. Low level means in low level language, you have to write the total program using zeros and ones. You have to write the program in machine language. Machine language is called as low level language. But we are writing the program by using simple English words. Those languages are called as high level languages. C language supports the features of high level language as well as low level language. So it is called as middle level language. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. After completion of writing, ping a message. Okay, Tanvi completed. Right? Can I go to next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, how to write a sample C program? See, whenever you are going to write a program, first line you have to write a hash include stdio.h. This one you have to write. After that, we have to write void main, void space main. After that, we need to start the curly brackets. We need to close the curly brackets. In between these two curly brackets, you have to write the solution for the program. That solution is called as processing statements. Processing statements. Right. It is the sample C program. Now, what is the meaning of this one? This line, it is called as include statements. What is that? It is called as include statements. Include statements. It is called as the main method. The solution, it is called as processing statements. So in any C program, you can see three types of statements. One is include statement. Second one is main method. Third one is processing statement. Right. Now tell me what I explained. In any C program, we can have three types of statements. What are those? First one is include statements. Second one is main method. It is also called as main function. Third one is processing statements. This line is called include statement. It is called main method. It is called processing statements. In any C program, you can have these three types of statements. Now, what is include statement? Include statement means what? I will give an example before going to explain what is include statement. Suppose I want to do a function at my home. Then I need some chairs, some tables, some tent. From where I have to brought all these things? All these things are available in tent house. Am I right? Tent house. Tent house. This tent house is called as this one, stdio.h. It is just like as a tent house, which will give the tools. Those are required to build your applications. To build your applications, you need some tools. Those tools are already developed and kept in stdio.h. You can copy the content of stdio.h into your program by writing hash include. So what is the meaning of this one? You are copying the data inside stdio.h into your program. That is the meaning of this one. After copying the code of stdio.h into your program, then you can use the code and you can build your applications very easily. Right? Clear? It is just like as tent house. In this, so many built-in tools are there. Before going to use those built-in tools, you have to copy into your program. To copy the content of this header file into your program, you have to use hash include. Now tell me, what is hash include statement? Include statement you have to write at the top of the program. Means it is the first line. It is the first line in any C program. You have to write hash include stdio.h at the top of the C program. So it is the first line in any C program. Right. It always begins with a hash symbol. It always begins with a hash symbol. Begins with hash. Symbol name is hash symbol. What is the use of this line? It is used to copy the content of this file into your program. So it is used to copy the content of which file? stdio.h. It is the file name into our program. Into our program. It is also called as one more name. The name is preprocessor directive. Preprocessor directive. It is also called as preprocessor directive. So it is also called as preprocessor directive. What is the meaning of preprocessor? Preprocessor means it will execute before the main method. So in your 10th class, you write pre-final examination. Am I right? What is the meaning of pre-final? Before final exam, you write one exam that is called as pre-final. This line execute before the main method. So it is called preprocessor. Processing means execution. So preprocessor means it will be executed before the main method, means compilation time. It will be executed. It will be executed at compile time. Compile time. What is the meaning of compile? See, it is the program you write. It is in English, am I right? Computer cannot understand English, no? Computer can understand only the language that is 0 and 1. Computer can understand 0 or 1. It cannot understand ABCDs, void, main, it doesn't understand. Then what to do? We need to convert this program into machine understandable. That conversion process is called as compilation. After converting your program into machine understandable, then computer can understand and execute your program. So this line will be executed at the time of compilation, not at the time of running. So it is called preprocessor. Now what is the meaning of directive? Directive means it gives direction to compiler. What is the compiler? Compiler is a software which convert your program into machine understandable program. So it gives direction to compiler. So it is called as a directive. It gives direction to compiler. So it is called directive. Directive. Right. It is about include statement. Include statement. Now, what is the main method? What is the main method or main function means what? Right. In your program, suppose you write 1 lakh lines of code. 1 lakh lines of code you write. From those 1 lakh lines of code, your program always execution starts from void main. Compiler always test where void main is there. From that, the execution begins. So it is called the first executable statement. It is called the first executable statement. It is the first executable statement. It is the first executable statement. Now, it is very, very important. Without main method, you cannot write C program. So it is very important. It is core. Core means very important. It is mandatory. Mandatory means it is compulsory. Without main method, your program will not be executed. So main method is compulsory. It is mandatory. You can write main method only one time. You cannot write multiple times. So it cannot be duplicated. It cannot be duplicated. Duplication of main methods doesn't allow. It cannot be duplicated means you can write main method only one time. Right. Now it is a user defined function. It is a user defined. User defined means user means you and me. We have to define that function. We have to write code for that function. So it is called user defined function. The meaning of this one is you have to write the code in this function. So it is called user defined function. We can write main function in 6 models. It has 6 models. First model is you can write main or you can write int main also, or you can write void main also, or you can write main of void also, or you can write integer main of void also, or you can write void main of void also. You can write. You can write main method in following 6 models. Any one model you can follow. I am following the 3rd model. You can follow the 2nd model, or you can follow the 1st model, or you can follow the 4th model. Any model you can write, you can use, no problem at all. Right? This is about.
What is the difference between the both models?
There are 6 models you can use. There is no difference. Actually, you can understand the difference at the time of functions. There is one concept, no? I already explained you. Functions concept. Okay. At the time of functions, okay, what is the difference between int main? What is the difference between void main? What is the difference between just main? You can understand at that time. Okay. It
Okay.
indicates the return data type, actually. Return data type. What this function can return means it can return a main integer. It can return nothing. Void means nothing. It don't return any result from this function. Okay, you cannot understand such type of words. Now I will explain you in the topic of functions, right? So it is about the main function. Now the third part, that is called processing statements. Processing statements means actually it is a solution to the program. It is the solution, right? So what it will tell you? It will tell you, it explains about three things. One is what to do in order to solve a problem, what you have to do. Second one, when to do, when you have to do this task. Third one, how to do, how we need to solve this program, what we have to do, when we have to do, how we have to do. Processing statements explain about these three statements. Why? In order to solve a problem. In order to solve the problem. If you want to solve the problem, what you have to do, when you have to do, how you have to do, those steps will be explained by using processing statements. So these are the three parts in sample C program, right? Now note on this. My dear friends, note on this. Please all of you note down this. The different parts of C programming, C program. One is include statement. Second one is main method. It is also called as main function. Third one is processing statements. Right. What is include statements? Include statements are at the top of the program. So these are the first line. It is the first line. It always begins with a hash symbol. You have to begin hash. It is used to copy the code of stdio.h into your program. It is also called as preprocessor directive. it execute at the time of compilation. It gives direction to compiler. The second type of statement is main method. It will execute at the beginning. So it is called the first executable statement. It is very, very important. Means it is core. We have to write the main method. So it is compulsory. It is mandatory. You can write main method only one time. So it doesn't possible to duplicate. You need to write the code for main method. So it is user defined function. It has 6 models. It has 6 models. One is main, second one is int main, third one is void main, fourth one is main of void, fifth one is int main of void, sixth one is void main of void. You can use the function in any one of the 6. The last statement is processing statements. Processing statements. It tells, explain about three things. One is what to do. Second one is when to do. Third one is how to do. Right. With this, we finished this session. Tomorrow at same time at 8:30, we will meet again. Right. If you complete your writing, you can leave from the class. If you have any doubt, you can ask, otherwise you can leave.
Hello, sir. Recording will be provided.
Yes, yes. Recording as well as material, both will be provided. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Well, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma. My dear students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Good. Now, in the last day, I explained you how to write the sample C program. Am I right? Hash include stdio.h. After that, we have to write main method. Within that, we need to write the code. Code is nothing but processing statements. Right. Today I will explain you what are the data types available in C language. Data types available in C language. What is the meaning of data type? Data type is nothing but what are the types available in C? What are the types available in data in C? So actually, whenever you see a keyboard, there you can see alphabets, digits, and symbols. Those are classified into 4 types. Those are called data types. Those are called data types. Now, serial number. I will explain the data types now. Data type. What is the size of each data type? What are the examples? Now, totally how many data types are there? C language supports 4 data types. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 data types are there. What are those? Characters, integers, float, and double. Right. Now, what is the meaning of character? Character means alphabets. Small a is a character. Small b is a character. Small c is a character. And so on. These are the characters. Last one is Z. Z is the character. Small a to small z, as well as capital A, capital B, and so on, capital Z. These are the data types. These are the characters. So you can see some special symbols. Those are also characters. Means operator plus. Plus is a character. Minus is also a character. Minus. But characters are nothing but the symbols or the alphabets. Those always represented within the single quotation. Those are the characters. Now there are some numbers on keyboard. The numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. These are the numbers. These are called as integers in C language. These are called as integers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Numbers are called as integers. Now in between 1 and 2, there are so many numbers. Again 1.1 is there, 1.11 is there. Okay, like that you have so many numbers. 1.23 is there, 1.45 is there. So a number which is having decimal point, those are called float. Those are called float. Round numbers are called as integers. So these are the floating point values. Now what is double? Double also same. 1.1 is a float. 1.1 is double. 1.11 also a double. 1.23 also a double. 1.45 is also a double. Now you may get a doubt, sir. In previous example 1.1 you said it is a float. Now 1.1 you are saying it is a double. Now what is the correct one? Is it float or is it a double? Right. How to decide whether it is the float or whether it is double? The difference between float and double is like this. Suppose I am taking a float, result equal to 100 by 3. When you divide 100 with 3, what should be the answer? Tell me. What should be the answer? Answer is 33.33333 like that and so on. I am creating a double. Double result equal to same 100 by 3. 100 by 3. Then also you will get the answer 33.33333 like that. Now, what is the difference between float and double is after point the digits, these are called as precisions. Precisions. Float maintains 6 precisions. So 33.333333. It maintains only 6 precisions. Whereas double maintains 10 precisions. 333, 333, 333 and 3. It maintains 10 precisions. If you want to maintain 6 or below 6, then you can take float. If you want to maintain more than 6 precisions, then you have to take double. It gives more accurate results. It gives less accurate results. That is the difference between float and double. Both are same floating point numbers. It is also point is there. Here also point is there. Okay. What is the difference between these two? It extra it has 4 precisions. Means totally it has 10 precisions. It has only 6 precisions. That is the difference. Now tell me what is the difference between float and double? Note. What is the float? Float maintains 6 precisions. 6 precisions. Whereas double maintains 10 precisions. 10 precisions. These are the examples for float and double. So these are the different data types available in C language. Now tell me what is the data type. So the character, the integer, the float, the double, these 4 are the data types. Actually, these are the keywords. So what is the meaning of keyword? I will explain you. These are the keywords. These are the keywords. Keywords are nothing but the names already defined in the system. Character is a name which was already defined in C. Integer is a name which was already defined in C. Float is a name of the data type that was already defined in C. Double is a name of the data type that was already defined in the C language. So predefined words, predefined names, those are called as keywords. So these are the keywords. So what is the use of this? Read this question from right to left. So it is used to explain the type of data. It is used to explain the type of data, right? So these are used to explain the type of data. It is used to explain the type of data. In C language, there are totally 4 types of data types. C supports 4 types of data types, right? Each data type is having its own size. The size of character is 1 byte. What is the size of character? 1 byte. What is the meaning of size? When you keep this alphabet inside the memory, then it occupies 1 byte of memory. What is the size of integer? Size of integer is 2 bytes. In some systems, it also 4 bytes. Now, what is when it is 2 bytes? When it is 4 bytes, I will explain you. If your system is having 32-bit operating system, there are 4 types of operating systems available: 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit. If your system is having 32-bit operating system, then the size of integer is only 2 bytes. If your system is having 64-bit operating system, then the size of integer is 4 bytes. 32-bit operating system. 32-bit operating system. Now, how to test whether my system is having 32-bit or 64-bit? Now, see this. I will explain you. Right click on my PC. This PC is my computer. Go to properties. Then you can see the properties of my computer. Now see this. My computer is having 64-bit operating system. My system is having 64-bit operating system. If your system is having 64-bit operating system, then the size of integer is 4 bytes. If your system is having only 32-bit operating system, then the size of integer is only 2 bytes. You have to remember this. The size of the float, it is 4 bytes. The size of the double, it is 8 bytes. It is 8 bytes. These are the sizes. So each data type is having some size. Each data type having some size. Having some size. Right. Now, where we need to use this data type? Whenever you want to create a variable, then you have to use these data types. So these are used to create variables. Used to create variables. What is the meaning of variables? Variables are nothing but the containers. Those are used to store the data. Suppose whenever you are going to college, you will take a water bottle. What is the use of water bottle? It is used to store the water, no? Whenever you are going to college, then you will take a lunch box. What is the use of lunch box? It is used to store the lunch. In the same manner, variable is a container used to store the data. So whenever you want to create the containers to store the data, you have to use these data types. So this is about data types. In C language, how many data types are there? 4 types of data types are there. What are those? Character, integer, float, and double. Character means alphabets and symbols. Integer means round numbers. Round numbers are called as integers. Floating point number means it has a decimal point. Double also having the decimal point, but float maintains only 6 fractions. Whenever you say 1.1, then float will be stored like this: 1.1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Why? Because it will maintain 6 fractions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. So it is called float. But double maintains 10 precisions. That is the difference, right? Now, my dear students, note on this.
Hello.
Amma.
Sir, actually for 32-bit, it's a 4 bytes, sir.
No,
Not
no, no.
2 bytes.
Not 2 bytes only. Okay, Chaitanya. Can we test?
Yeah. So I checked on the internet as well, sir, actually. It's
Okay,
a
okay.
two.
No, what is there? I will also check. What is it? Okay. I am
Uh,
not the developer of C. I am also learner. Okay. Before you, I learned. That's it. Okay.
what
What
is
is the
size of
size of integer
in
in
32 bit,
32-bit machine?
4 bytes.
No, no, actually it's 2 bytes. Why? Because I will tell you. I will test you in C language. I will test you. Okay, right? So what is the size of now? My system is having 64 now. I will ask to print percentage size of integer equal to percentage d comma. You can find the size of operator, size of integer. I am asking. Now it will print only 4 bytes. My system is having 32-bit, 64-bit. Now its size of integer is only 4 bytes. Okay.
Yes, actually, sir, for 32 bit, it's a 4 byte, and for 64 bit also, it's a 4 byte size, actually, sir.
No, no, not like that, Mr. Okay, it may be in internet, but I go through so many textbooks. Okay, I am teaching this last since 22 years. Okay, the size in old operating system, the size of integer is only 2 bytes. That's why I mentioned the say in two specially, no. Okay. Right.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Sir, can you please repeat?
Sure. Which one? Data types.
Yes, data types.
Okay, Tanvi. Right. See this. Whenever you see the keyboard, there are so many symbols. Alphabets will be there. Digits will be there. Okay. Floating digits will be there. Symbols will be there. So those are classified into 4 types. Alphabets are also called as characters. Alphabets are called as characters. Right. Round numbers means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The general numbers are called as integers. Okay. The floating point numbers are called as 1.1, 1.11, 1.23. Okay. These are called floating point numbers. Those are called float. It has a decimal point in between the numbers. Okay. So 1.1, it can be sometimes called as float. It can be sometimes called as double. Now you can get a doubt when we have to call it as float, when we have to call it as double. The difference between float and double is when you mentioned float, it maintains only 6 precisions. The digits after dot operator are called as float precisions. So it maintains 6 precisions, whereas double maintains 10 precisions. Right? So that is the difference between float and double. If you want accurate result, then you go to double. If you want not accurate result, then you go to float. Okay, anyone you can take. So this is the difference between 4 data types: character, integer, float, and double. So data types are nothing but keywords. Keywords are nothing but reserved words. These are already defined in the system. So these are called as keywords. These are used to explain the type of data. What type of data you are going to use: character or integer or float or double. So totally 4 types of data types are there. Okay. Each data type is having the some size. So some size, and it it is used to create the variables. Clear? Tarvi,
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
good,
Yes, sir. Clear.
good. Note of this. That doubt was asked by Chaitanya, no? Chaitanya? 4 bytes, the size of
Yes,
integer.
yes.
Chaitanya, see, I used 32-bit operating system also. Now I am using 64-bit operating system also. At the time of 32-bit operating system, the size of integer is only 2 bytes statement. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. My dear friends, all of you note on this.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, can you scroll down?
Sure, sure. After completion of writing, please tell me. My dear friends, after completion of writing, please tell me. I will go to the next concept.
Completed, sir.
Good. Now, my next concept is what is modifier? Modifiers. See, my dear friends, what is the size of integer? The size of integer in 32-bit operating system is only 2 bytes. Now, in 2 bytes of memory, we can store minus 32,767 to 32,767. It is 68. It is 67. You can store only the data in between this range. Suppose what is the meaning of this one? I will explain here. Suppose 32-bit operating system means your system is having like first bit, second bit, third bit, fourth bit, like that. It start with 1. Now it's double 2, it's double 4, it's double 8. In this way, if you write 32 bits, then final value is, this is the final value, 32,767 plus 32,767 to minus 32,768. In between these two only we can store. I will give an example for this. Suppose there is a water bottle which is having 2 liters capacity. In that 2 liters water bottle, how much of water you can store?
Up to 2.
Very good. Up to 2 liters you can store. Suppose you pour beyond 2 liters. I pour 3 liters. Then what happens?
It will fall down.
Very good. 2 liters will be stored and remaining 1 liter will be wasted. Am I right? In the same manner, if you store 40,000 in an integer variable, 40,000, it can store up to 32,000. It cannot store up to 40,000. So some data will be lost. To avoid this, what we have to do? We have to modify the meaning of data type. We have to modify the meaning of data type. To modify the meaning of data types, we need to use the modifiers. Now, what is modifier? Modifier is a keyword. It is also a keyword. Means these are already defined in the system. So it is also a keyword. What is the use of modifier? It is used to alter or modify. What? Modify the meaning of data types. Meaning of data type. If you want to change the meaning of data type, then you have to use modifier. In C language, we have 4 types of modifiers. We have 4 types of modifiers in C. We have 4 types of modifiers in C language. In C language. Okay. For example, what are the 4? So these are the examples are long, short, signed, unsigned. These are the 4 modifiers we need to use. Right? If you want to increase the size of integer, then we have to use the long integer. If you want to decrease the size of integer, then you have to use short integer. If you want to store only negative numbers in integer, then you have to use signed integers. Sign means negative numbers. It has sign, minus sign. If you want to store only positive numbers, then you have to use unsigned integers. So these 4 are the modifiers available in C language. Explanation. Like long integer, short integer, signed integer, unsigned integer, like that. This is about the modifiers we need to use to modify the meaning of data types. So these are the keywords. Those are used to modify the meaning of data types. These should be used only with data types. Right? So note on this. Tanvi, signed integer means, suppose if you want to store -4 or -10, these are signed integers. These are having signs, negative sign, positive sign. Those are the sign. Unsigned integer means only positive numbers. 4. We need not to specify the data sign here. 10, 20. These are unsigned integers. Okay. So I am talking about the sign means this one. Clear, Tanvi?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, right. Sign means positive or negative. That is the sign.
What about the long and the short?
Long means if you want to increase the size of integer, then you have to use the long integer. Integer can store up to only 32,000. No. Suppose if you want to store 1 lakh, if you want to store 2 lakhs, then we need to increase the size of integer. No. That's why then you have to use the long integer.
Okay.
Suppose
got
if
it.
you want to store only marks, marks means it is for only 100 marks, no? The maximum marks for a subject is 100. The student may get only 0 to 90, 100. Am I right? Beyond 100 and negative numbers also he won't get. Then you can use only short integer.
Got it.
My dear friends, tell me after completion of writing.
Completed, sir.
Good. Now the next topic is variables. What is the meaning of variables? My dear friends, so I already explained you what is variable in previous example, right? What is a variable? Variable is nothing but a container which is used to store the data. It is just like as college bag. It is just like as water bottle. It is just like as lunch box. Okay, right. It is just like as luggage cover, right? So what is this? It is a container. What is the use of this container? It is used to store the data. What is the use of this container? If you want to store the data, you have to use a variable. Right. Then in a variable, it can store only one value. Suppose there is a container. In that container, you can store only one value at a time. It is just like a chair. Okay, I seated in a chair. If you want to sit, then what to do? I have to stand up and you have to sit there. Why? Because in a chair, only one person can sit. In the same manner, in a variable, only one value it can store. So it can store only one value at a time. So I will explain it using a paintbrush. Right. Here is the paint. It is not opening. Okay, I will explain you. Right. So what is a variable? In Excel, I will explain you. Right. Suppose I want to store a data, then I need to use a container like this. In this container, I am going to store the data. I want to store one more value, then I have to create one more container. Here I am going to store one more data. Suppose here also I am going to store one more data. So I have to create three variables. Where variables will be created? Variables will be created inside the memory. Data will be stored inside the memory. Variables also created inside the memory. So variables will be created inside the memory. So it can store only one value. I created three containers means I am going to store three values. Now every variable must be identified by a specific name. It should be identified by a specific name. Suppose I want to store roll number here. I am going to store student name here. I am going to store average marks here. So it should be named with a certain name. Now what is the name of this one? What is this? 501 is nothing but roll number. So I should be named it as roll number. What is Rama? Rama is nothing but name of the student. So it is called name. What is 590.5? It is called as average marks. So every variable must be identified with a name, specific name. So it should be identified by a name, right? Why it is calling as variable? Why it is not calling as container? Why it is not calling as a box? Why it is calling as variable means it can change its value. It can change its value. Change, it is also called as variation. Variation, it is also called as change. It can change its value. It can vary its value. So it is called variable. It is called variable. It can change or vary its value. So it is called variable. It is called variable. Right. Variables, it is about variables. It is a container. It can store the data. It can store only one value at a time. Variables will be created inside the memory. Every variable must have a name. It can change its value. It can vary its value. So it is called variable. It is called variable. Right. Every variable should have a size. Every variable should have a size. So variable size can be represented by data type. Suppose it is 501 is a number, no? Number can be represented as integer, am I right? Number can be represented as integer. What is the name of the variable? Roll number is the name of the variable. So whenever you say integer roll number, what is the size of integer? Tell me. The size of integer in my system is 4 bytes. So computer allocate 4 bytes of memory for this. How computer can understand the size of this container? By specifying the data type. You can assume, you can specify the size of this container by specifying the data types. So variable size can be represented by data type. Now the next one is how to create the variables. Create, or it is also called as a declaration of variable. How to create a variable or how to declare a variable. See this, in this example, I created 3 variables. One is roll number, second one is name, third one is average, AVG. First variable contains number, so I mentioned integer here. Second variable contains characters, so we need to mention char here. Char means character. Third variable here is having floating point value, so you need to mention float here, float. Right. Now integer roll number means computer allocate 4 bytes of memory for this, and you can store a integer variable in this container. Float average means computer can allocate 4 bytes of memory for this, then you can store a floating point value. Now character name means it allows to store only one character. Why? Because character means 1 byte. In 1 byte of memory, you can store only one character. But you are going to store a group of characters, no? Then you need to specify how many characters you are going to store. You need to specify using the square brackets. The meaning of this one is it allowed to store up to 100 characters. So it allowed to store up to 100 characters. Character means 1 byte. How many characters are here? 100. 100 into 1 equal to 100. It allowed 100 bytes of memory for this. And in this we can store 100 characters. Up to 100 characters we can store. So like that you can create the variables. These are the examples to create variables. So this is the right. This is the memory diagram.
Sir, but how to identify that this is variable?
How to?
Identify means how we'll get to know that this is variable, name of student, roll number, or average value in this three.
Very good. If you want to store the data, you have to create the variables. Is it data or not? 501 is the data.
Hmm.
Data, no?
Yes.
It's data, no? Your
Yes,
data.
yes, yes.
It is your roll number, means your data. Rama,
Yes.
it is the name of the student. It is the Rama name. It is the Rama average marks. To
Yes.
store the data, you have to create the variables. So these are the variables.
Yes. So three are the variables. Roll
You,
number, name, and average.
yes. It can
Yes.
store only one value, no? You have
Yes.
three values. One is roll number, second one is name, third one is average. So you need to create three variables.
Okay. Okay. So thank you.
Okay? Right.
Yes. Yes.
Now this is the memory diagram for that. Right. This is the memory diagram. Now tell me how to create a variable. To create a variable, we need to use data type as well as variable name. It is the data type. Integer is the data type. Roll number is a variable name. With the help of data type and variable name, you can create a variable. So we can create or declare a variable using data type and variable name. You have to use the data type. You have to use the variable name, right? Then only you can create a variable. Now syntax. Syntax means how to write. It indicates syntax. First of all, what you need to specify? Integer. What is the integer? Integer is nothing but a data type. First, you need to specify the data type. Then what is roll number? Roll number is nothing but the variable name. What name you want to keep for that variable? Variable name you need to specify. First of all, you need to specify the data type, then variable name and data type, right? With these two values, you should know the data type, you should know the variable name, then only you can create the variables. Otherwise, you cannot create the variables. So is it clear how to create the variables? My dear friends, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, third one is, while naming the variable, there are some rules and regulations you have to follow. Those rules and regulations are called as scope rules of variables. Scope rules of variables means the rules we need to follow while naming a variable are called as scope rules of variables. Oh, sorry. Okay, it is the example. No, it is the example. It should be here. Right. Now, what is the scope rules of variable? I will explain you. The rules, those should be followed while naming a variable are called scope rules. Scope rules. These are the scope rules. First rule is the variable name, it should begin with alphabet or underscore. Now I will explain what are the valid variable names, what are the invalid variable names using the table. Then you can get a clarity, right? So here I am going to create a valid variable name. Here I am going to explain you invalid variable names. So number one, it is valid. First number, it is invalid. Why? Because it should begin with alphabet or underscore, but it is beginning with a digit, no? So it is invalid. So what is the first rule? Variable name must begin with alphabet or underscore. It should begin with alphabet or underscore. So it is okay. Underscore number one or underscore first number. It is also okay. Underscore first number. Why? Because it always begins with the alphabet or underscore. It is beginning with underscore, no? Now it is valid. It is invalid. First rule is clear. The second rule is it doesn't have any spaces. Suppose I want to create a variable with name odd number, odd number. It is having space, no? It doesn't have space. If it is having space, then it is invalid. So variable name should not have spaces. Should not have spaces. In your name, you have spaces. I am reading one name here, Bhavika Arora. Bhavika space Arora. Chaitanya Kalyani. Chaitanya space Kalyani. K Prasad. K space Prasad. In your name, you are giving space. But variable name doesn't have spaces. If you give space in variable name, then it becomes invalid. Right? It is the variable name should not have spaces. Variable name should not have special symbols. Should not have special symbols. Except underscore. Except underscore, you should not use any special symbol. Means odd at the rate of number, it is invalid. Odd minus number, it is also invalid. What is valid? Odd underscore number, it is valid. It allows only underscore. Except underscore, you should not use any special symbol in variable name. Next, it should not be a keyword. It should not be a keyword. Keyword means there are 32 reserved names in C language. You should not use those 32 as a variable names. Suppose character, it is a variable name. Data type, it is a data type. You should not use character as variable name. Why? Because it is a keyword. Integer, it is also you should not use. Float, you should not use. Double, you should not use. Long, you should not use. Short, you should not use. Signed, you should not use. Why? Because these are reserved words, means keywords. So you cannot use keywords as variable names. The last one is the length of the variable does not exceed 32 letters. The maximum length of the variable is only 31 character. So its length should not exceed 31. Its length should not exceed 31 characters. Right? These are the some rules. Those are used while naming the variables. Right? Now, my dear friends, note on this. From variable, please all of note on. Variables are very, very important. Why? Because if you want to store the data in C language, you need to create the variables. So simply variable is nothing but a container to store the data. That's it.
So can you please scroll down?
Sure, ma, sure. Can I scroll down?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir, is it score rules or scope rules? The rules
Scope rules.
here in the definition.
Yes, scope rules.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. Scope rules, sorry. Scope. SUP. Right?
Yes, sir.
It's a typing mistake. Sorry for that.
So scroll up.
Right. My dear friends, please wait. I will send this document to you. Right? Are you getting this? Are you able to see my file or not able to see?
No, sir.
Why you are unable to see this file? My computer. Open. It is I'm not able to send the file. Okay, you note on this, please. Right after completion of writing, please you can leave from the class.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, welcome. My dear friends, am I audible?
Yes.
Good, Chaitanya, thank you. Now, today, I will repeat the last class for 2 minutes. Data types. In any organization, data is very, very important. Data means, suppose take to my class, how many students are here? Okay, what are your contact numbers? How much you paid? How much you not paid? Okay, that is very, very important for me. That is nothing but data. That data is classified into 4 types. Those are called data types, types in data. So those 4 types are, one is character, second one is integer, third one is float, fourth one is double. So these are already defined in the system. So these are called keywords. Keywords are nothing but the names, those are already defined in the system. Those are the keywords. These are used to explain the type of data. These are used to explain the type of data. In C language, we have 4 data types. Each data type is having the size. Each data type is having some size. The character When you keep a character inside the computer, then it occupies only 1 byte of memory. 1 byte. Suppose if you store a number means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all these are numbers. If you store a number in computer memory, it occupies 2 bytes in 32-bit operating system, 4 bytes in 64-bit operating system. These are the round numbers. Suppose if you have dot operator means 1.1, 1.11, 1.23, 1.45. These are called as floats. Its size is 4 bytes. 1.1, it is also called as double. Its size is 8 bytes. Now you will get a doubt, sir. You already told you 1.1 is float. Now you are telling you 1.1 is double. Now which one is correct? Is it float or double? I will explain. The difference between float and double is number of digits after dot operator. These are called as precisions. The digits after dot are called as precisions. In float, computer can maintain only 6 precisions. Whereas in double, computer maintains up to 10 precisions. So it will increase the efficiency. If you want to get the accurate result, then you have to use double. If you don't want the accurate result, then you can use float also. So if you want only 6 precisions, then you can take float. If you want 10 precisions, then you can take double. Both are same. Float and double both are same. This is about the data types. Now the next heading is modifiers. Now I already explained you the size of integer is only 2 bytes in 32-bit operating system, 4 bytes in 64-bit operating system. Suppose there is a water bottle. Its size is only 2 liters. In 2 liters water bottle, you can store up to 2 liters of milk. Am I right? Yes. Suppose I pour 3 liters of milk in 2 liter water bottle. Then what happens? 2 liter will be there. 1 liter will be wasted. Then what to do? Suppose if you want to store 3 liters water bottle, you have to take the water bottle which is minimum 3 liters capacity. So you have to remove the 2 liters water bottle. Then you have to take one more water bottle which is having at least 3 liters capacity. Here also, in integer we can store some data. Suppose I want to store big values. Then I have to modify the data type integer into like this, long integer. Long integer means its size will be increased. Short integer means its size will be decreased. Signed integers means it allows to store only negative numbers. Unsigned integer means it allows to store only positive numbers. Here before integer, before data type I used long here. Before integer I used short here. Before integer I used signed here. Before integer I used unsigned here. These 4 are called as long, short, signed, unsigned are called as modifiers. These are also special words in computer. So these are the keywords. These are used to modify the meaning of data types. In C language, we have 4 types of modifiers. Those are these: long, short, signed, unsigned. Right. Now the next concept is variable. Suppose if you want to store the data inside the computer, where you can store the data? To store the data inside the computer, we need a container. Suppose like this. Suppose I want to store a roll number. I need a container like this. I want to store the student name. I need a container like this. I want to store the average marks. Then I need a container like this. If you want to store the data inside the computer, then you need containers. Those containers are called as variables. So variable is a container. In a variable, we can store only one value. We can store only one value at a time. This container is used to store the data. So variable is a container. It is used to store the data. It can store only one value at a time. These variables will be created inside the computer memory. Variables means containers. These containers always created inside the memory. These variables must be identified by a name. You have a name, I also have a name. In the same, these variables should have a name. It should have a name. Its name is roll number. It should have a name. Its name is name. It should have a name. Its name is average marks. So in the same manner, it should be identified by a specific name. Why it is called as variable means it can vary or it can change its value. Vary means variation. Variation means change. It can change its value, so it is called as variable. Variable. So it is a variable, it is a container, no? How much of memory I have to allocate? What is the size of this container? It depends upon the data type. It depends upon the data type. What you are going to store in that box. Depends upon that only we can take the size of the container. So the size of the variable can be represented by using data type. Right. Now how these variables will be created? So these variables can be created like this. I am creating a variable roll number. In that I am going to store a number. Number means integer. You have to say integer roll number. I want to create a variable name. So name. In that I am going to store the letters, alphabets. So I have to use char here. I am going to store characters. Whenever you say char, it allows to store only one character at a time. But I want to store Rama, means 4 letters. I want to store Ramana. Ramana means 6 letters. I want to store group of letters in that. Then I have to use this size. Now it indicates it allows to store up to 100 letters. In this variable, you can store 100 characters. Up to 100 characters, it is allowed. Next one is average. Average is having point. Then you can take float or double. Float average or double average also you can take. But here I used only one precision. No? To store only one precision, double is waste. Float is enough. So I am using float. So in this you can create the variables. Now, while naming the names, while naming the variables, you should follow some rules and regulations. Those are called scope rules of variables. Scope rules of variables. What are the first rule? The first rule is the variable name should begin with alphabet. It should not begin with a digit. So first rule is variable name must begin with alphabet or underscore. It can start with alphabet or it can start with underscore also. But it doesn't start with a digit. So these are the invalid. These are the valid. Valid names and invalid names. Right. So second one, variable name doesn't have any space. In your name, you can have space. I am seeing some names. Bhavika Arora. Bhavika space Arora. Chaitanya Kalyani. Chaitanya space Kalyani. K Prasad. K space Prasad. In your names, you are giving spaces. But in computer, you should not give any space between the names. Odd number. It is an invalid name. Why? Because you mentioned space here. So it doesn't allow spaces. It doesn't allow special characters also. Except underscore. You cannot write minus, plus, greater than, less than, @ symbol. Okay, you should not use any special symbols. It doesn't use special symbols. It should not be a keyword. Keyword means already we reserved some words, no? We already defined some names. Character, integer, float, double, long, short, signed, unsigned. Already explained 8 keywords. So you cannot use keywords as variable names. The length of the variable should not exceed 32 letters, 31 letters. Okay, whenever you give 32 letters name, then it is invalid name. The variable name must have at least 31 or 31, less than 31 letters. Beyond 31 letters, you cannot give as name. So these are the scope rules of variables I explained. Now, I am going to explain The next one is format specifiers. Format specifiers. Now, what is the meaning of format specifiers? Right. See this. I will explain through the table. In our country, there are some parties like BJP party, BJP. What is the symbol for BJP? Tell me. Lotus. What is the symbol for Congress? Hand symbol. Right? Now these are having names, no? Now what is the use of symbol? Tell me. Why we have symbols for each and every party?
For identifying the particular party symbol.
You can identify by the name, no, Prasad? Why you need symbol also? Name also you can identify, no? BJP. You can understand BJP or not?
Yeah.
You can understand Congress. Even it is having a name, but it is also having the symbol. What is the reason means? Prasad, very good. What is the reason means? There are so many illiterates. Those cannot read BJP, those cannot read Congress. For them, symbol is very useful. Clear?
Yes.
In the same manner, here also, for each and every data type, we have a symbol. In C language also, for each and every data type, we have a symbol. Data type. And that symbol is called as format specifier. What are the data types you have?
Int, character.
You have character, first one. Next integer.
Float.
Next float. Next double. Yeah, right? Character means it can be represented by percentage C. C for character. Integer can be represented by percentage I or percentage D. I for integer, D for decimal number. What is that? Decimal number. We have 4 number systems. Decimal number system, binary number system, octal number system, hexadecimal number system. Which number system you are using? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are the decimal number system. So I can represent percentage I or percentage D. Clear? Right. Float. Float has one symbol, percentage F. F for float. Double has one symbol, percentage LF. LF means long float. What is the difference between this one and this one? Both are same, but it is having 10 precisions, means long float. Character means single character. Suppose Rama. In Rama, how many characters you have? 4 characters. Group of characters can be called as string. What is string? String is nothing but a group of characters. Your name is a string. My name is a string. Country name is a string. Your village name is a string. String can be represented by using percentage S. I already told you integer. We can change the size of integer by using long integer. I already told you long integer. Long integer can be represented percentage LD. L for long, D for decimal number. Percentage LD you can use for long integer. You can use unsigned integer. Unsigned integer. Unsigned integer can be represented by using percentage U. Percentage U. In C language, you can see the pointers. I will explain what is pointer. For that, you can use percentage P. You can use octal number system in C language. Percentage O you can use. You can use hexadecimal number system. Hexadecimal. Percentage small x or percentage capital X also you can use. These special characters are called as format specifiers. Now tell me, what is a format specifier? It is a special character. What is the speciality? It is always beginning with which symbol? Percentage symbol. So it always begins with which symbol? Percentage symbol. Percentage symbol. So for what these are used? These are used to specify the format of data types. What type of data you are going to use, that can be represented by using these special characters. So it is used to specify the format of data types. When we can use this? When we are going to read the data, or when we are going to print the data, then you can use them. So it is used in input, means reading, and output means printing. When you are going to read, when you are going to print, then only you can use these symbols. So this is about the format specifiers, right? My dear friends, note it down. Note on this. My dear friends, after completion of writing, please tell me. I will go to the next topic.
So can you please scroll down?
Sure. My dear friends, we have 5 demo classes. This is third demo class. After 2 demo classes, okay, those paid, they can listen my classes. Then we will create a WhatsApp group. Every day I will send this material to you. Okay. Until that, you better to note down every day. My dear friends, after completion of writing, please tell me. Don't waste your time.
Completed, sir.
Good, good. Right. Now, the next thing is escape sequences. Next heading. Escape sequences. What is the meaning of escape sequences? I will explain you. Right. Now I want to write a leave letter. My dear friends, how to write a leave letter? Tell me. Take a paper. I am writing a leave letter like this. Here I am writing leave letter. Today's date, my village, to the principal so and so college. Respected sir, I am suffering from fever, so please grant me leave for 2 days. Thanking you, sir. Yours faithfully. My name and my signature. I write a leave letter like this. Is it a valid or invalid? Actually, it is invalid. Why? Because it is not in specific format. Am I right? Yes. How to write a leave letter properly? You have to write a leave letter like this. In center, you need to write a leave letter heading. At right side, today's date and your place. At left side, to the principal so and so college. Respected sir, here I am suffering from fever, so please grant me leave for 2 days. In center, thanking you, sir. At right side, yours faithfully, your signature, your name you have to write. In this specific format, you have to write a leave letter. Here, whenever you take a new file, the control is always at the top left corner, top left corner. Here you will have a control. But you need to write a leave letter at middle. Then you have to move from here to here. How to move? How to move forward direction? By pressing the space bar or by pressing the tab key. Am I right? Whenever you press a tab key, what happens? The control will move from one place to another place. How much space? A tab space. A tab space means 6 spaces. I want to move the cursor from here to a tab distance forward. In C language, you have to use a special letter, that is /T. What is the use of /T? It is used